There, so we're live now. Okay, while waiting for our attendees to join our webinar today, again, thank you so much, Max and Martin, for your time with our webinar today. And for those who are in now in our session, welcome to How to Flip a House, 5 Things You Need to Get Started. So I think we're good to start now. So for those attendees that haven't heard of me yet or didn't know me yet, I am Jeff. I'm quite new to REIQ as the webinar host. So some of our speakers already know me, but I'm more of the working on the background. So I'm just doing the chat and all. So can you do the next slide, please? All right, so our agenda for today is this part, the welcoming and introduction. So we may not follow the time specifically, but we'll be starting with the presentation as soon as I'm done talking. So so next slide, please. So if you're new to Zoom, if it's your first time or second time to use Zoom, we have buttons. So you just have to hover your mouse to the center of the screen, anywhere in the screen, and you can see buttons at the bottom part of the screen that says chat. All you have to do is click that chat, and you can start telling us right now where you are coming from, what do you expect from this webinar, what do you want to know, or if you have specific questions within the session, you can put it in the chat box and we can see them and we can answer it right away. We also have the raise hand button. So by the Q&A part of this session, you just have to click the raise hand button and I can allow you to talk. And from there, you can ask your questions live. So I'll be unmuting you and allowing you to speak and you can ask your question to Max or Martin. And also, we have the Q&A box that works the same as the chat button. So if you're comfortable with posting your your question in the Q&A box, that is not visible to other attendees. So in the chat box, that can be visible to the panelists, which is us, or everyone in the session. So also we have a poll that will be running throughout the session. These are a total of 4 polls that you need to answer. And the first poll is here, which is just a get to know about you. So we can have an idea who you are, what type of investor are you. So all you have to do is answer the polls right now. And next slide, please. And this event is brought to you by Real Estate IQ, the #1 in deal finding. And we provide over 45,000 leads every month. So next slide, please. And here's a very quick testimonial from our clients with real estate on how they use our tools.
When did you start using Real Estate IQ?
I'm going to say probably less than about a month ago, and we actually had a lot of success. It's a great list. We recommend it for everybody. We got actually a deal in the first month using it, and with all these new features that are coming on it, and we're signed up for it, we just can't wait to make a lot more deals. So we're excited. Great list, guys. Trust me, I recommend it. Worth every penny.
Yes. We heard about it, had to jump on it real quick.
And it's amazing. It's been amazing for us and our family, and it's produced revenue for us and a better way for us to live. So we appreciate it. Great work, and it's a great product for everybody. We definitely recommend it.
Yes.
That's beautiful. We're very happy for you guys.
Okay, next slide, please. Yep, so before I introduce our speakers for today, in the middle of the session, I'll be launching the second poll, which is a request for our one-on-one session with Real Estate IQ, wherein we can introduce and we can give you guidelines and let you know more about the tools and services that REIQ provides. So all you have to do is answer the poll, the second poll, which will be launched later at the middle of the webinar. So our speakers for today is Max and Martin Chera. So Martin?
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Jeff, for your time and patience in working on this webinar. My name is Martin Chera. I'm the owner of Express Capital Financing. I've been in business for 8 years. We're a New York City based lender, even though we are nationwide. So I want to welcome everybody to the group. We're here to explain to everybody how to do a flip, how to be profitable, how to be successful. But Max, go to the second page, please. So everybody's learning how to fix and flip. Everybody wants to get into it. There's so many TV shows, so many mentorship groups. There are, everywhere you go, everybody is teaching, learning about how to flip. And, it's a great business. It's real estate is always here to stay. It is a tangible business. It's a tangible product owning a piece of property. However, it is a business that you must work hard, effectively, and efficiently to get you to your wealth in real estate. So it is not an quick, easy, type of business like it shows on the TV shows. However, we're here to help and guide you in every step of the way if anybody needs it. So today's presentation should not be interpreted as legal, tax, or accounting advice. It's only for information purposes only. Contact, of course, your attorney, your CPA, or your business advisor for any business or any real estate matters whatsoever. So phase one, finding a house to flip. Every house flipper, whether you're newbie, whether you're experienced, everybody needs deal flow. Without deal flow, there is no flow, there is no business. So in essence, what you want is a reliable system and a source to bring you good properties to the table. We do have technology right now that could do that, whether it's Real Estate IQ and a lot of other websites and apps. However, everybody needs a deal pipeline, which we're going to discuss right now, because if you're working on one deal and it doesn't pan out, it doesn't work out, you're at 100%, unfortunately, a failure rate. So if you have 20 deals in your pipeline, chances are one or two will work out, and that's what you want to do, because in this business, it is a numbers game. Next page, please. So finding houses to flip. How do you get started? Well, I always tell my investors direct mail is one of the easiest ways to go. This way the phone calls will come directly to you. If you're looking for a mailer campaign, give us a call. I'll give you my number after. We can connect you with some mailer campaign companies using bandit size. Put them on the grass, put them on, local grass on the side street or the sidewalk. We buy ugly houses, or we buy houses or properties for all cash. Put your number on there. Simple little one line, one sentence slogan with your number on there is a great idea, again, for you to get a lead generation. The third step is driving for dollars, which I say is a kick-ass thing, because right now, especially during mid-COVID, everybody, they're sitting at home. They should be driving by and looking for properties that are, outdated, not touched, the grass is high, a lot of newspapers around. This is the perfect time, unfortunately, due to the pandemic. People should be driving for dollars and finding those properties that are just abandoned, or, maybe you could tell that it's an old people in there and maybe they want to move. You never know. So driving for dollars is a very good tool for finding your deals. Tapping into off-market properties is an excellent way to go. A few ideas that I could bring to the table is Craigslist. Also knocking on doors is a good off-market property deals. And what off-property market deals means, it's not on the MLS, it's a lower price range, and hopefully those are people that are, more anxious and tempted to sell. So whether it's Craigslist, whether you're driving for dollars, whether you're knocking on doors, those are off-market property deals. Networking your way to new deals, which is, I always believe in networking, will bring you an opportunity, and that opportunity is to grow your business. You're going to be meeting, hopefully, the right people, landlords, developers, wholesalers, maybe even sellers that want to sell their properties for whatever reason. So networking can be done live if you can, or even on these webinars like we're doing right now, or just networking with people that you know already in your own social network, seeking if they're looking to sell any properties, or do they have any connections to anxious and motivated sellers. Defaulted properties is a great tool, and the way buyers should find defaulted properties, what I mean by that is they're just right now in less penned in, which is like pre-foreclosure state. They're just starting to get behind, and it could be from the pandemic. It may not be from the pandemic, but defining defaulted properties, you could find them on, again, Craigslist, Property Shark, and also Realty Track is a way to find those defaulted mortgage properties. When you do find the properties on the Property Shark, on the Realty Track, it's not going to give you the owner's information, so you will have to go to your website of the county clerk of that particular property and put in the information. It's a skip trace. You're just going to the county clerk's website, finding out who their owner is, and everybody, you should be calling them and saying, I see that you're behind on your mortgage. Is there anything we could do to help? When you're calling them, by the way, you should be finding out what their pain points are. Maybe they may not say it, maybe they will, but if they're telling you that they're 6 months behind, their credit is in shambles, or maybe, God forbid, somebody, passed away in their family, COVID or not COVID, those are good ways to find properties and to find distressed, motivated sellers. The last bullet is online classified ads. Again, that's to me is the Craigslist. I've been told from my investors, and I'm seeing also, there's about 30 to 50% increase in properties listed on Craigslist. And people may say, well, it's old, it's outdated, and it's garbage. Craigslist has now been ever so popular with sellers who are motivated to sell. And if you think about it, they can't afford, or they don't want to pay the realtor their fee, and they just want to get their price without overpricing it like realtors do. So these are very good ways to get off-market deals. The next screen. Okay, phase 2. How do you figure out if an investment property is a good one? That's a great question, and everybody, especially newbies, maybe is scared, not as scared. Again, I want to go back. Having a lot of deals in your pipeline through the previous phase that we discussed, because when you have about 20 prospects, 20 properties out there, whether it's mailers, phone calls, drive-bys, and hopefully 2 or 3 people or 4 people will call you out of that. So now you need to figure out if a property is going to be profitable for you. So we have a formula as a lender. We're going to share that with you in just a few moments on how to do it. I will say, everybody has to do their due diligence. What is the due diligence? Well, it's not just an appraisal that you're going to be ordering and we're going to be ordering for you as a lender. I will say that you should get an inspector, especially if you're a newbie. That is number 1 on your due diligence list, an inspector. The inspector is going to tell you everybody's going to get an inspector if they're buying that primary home, but I'm not telling you to get an inspector even for investment properties, because they're going to tell you if there's anything challenging or any deferred maintenance to the property. Is there leaks? Is there structural damage? We call it deferred maintenance. Maybe the roof has issues. So all these type of things the inspector will tell you. And if you're thinking of giving an offer, let's just say $100,000, and the inspector tells you, well, there's about $20,000 that's needed, and you didn't see it because he's an inspector, well, that's $20,000 less that you're going to make on a deal, or $20,000 more that you're going to have to put to the scope of work. However, again, that if he's telling you something that you were never privy to, that is going to be the dollar less amount that you're going to make on a deal. So due diligence, number 1, is a home inspector. It'll cost you hundreds of dollars, but it will save you thousands of dollars. And the number 2 thing is going to be our deal calculator, which we're going to show you in just a few moments. Next page, please. Okay, phase 3, funding, loans for fixing and flipping, and I'm even going to say wholesaling deals. So next page, Max, please. So whether you're fixing and flipping, everybody needs access to cash. Everybody needs access to what we call debt. There are a lot of lenders who are left the hard money realm. We're still active. We're still funding. In the beginning of COVID, we were at 80% leverage of the purchase price. Today, I'm happy to say we're at 85%. By August or September 1st, we should be back to normal at the 90% of the purchase and 100% of the renos. Why am I saying this? The less you put down, the more leverage you get, the higher return on your money is and the higher your profits. So if you got 100 grand, better to take that money into 5 deals, diversify your money, than putting it all into one deal. Because if you take your money all into one deal, you are maximizing your risk and you're lowering your leverage, but you're decreasing your return on profit. So it's always high leverage. You're going to get more in your money. And that's what access to funds is. That's what hard money is all about. High leverage, low risk. You could use it many times over. Hard money lenders are typically looking at the asset, and that's why it's called hard money. So we could fill your need with our products and programs, again, which I'll go over soon. But the second aspect that you need is now the funding to do your deals. Next page. Okay. So flipping a house with no money. If you plan to flip, to do a quick flip, which they call wholesaling, even if you're wholesaling, your end buyer is going to need funding. So please, send them over to us. We will give you a referral fee up to 2% if you're a wholesaler. We will include your wholesale fee. So you're going to win. It's going to be a win-win situation for the wholesaler. So at the end of the day, whether you're doing a flip or whether you're doing a wholesale deal, no matter what, there is always a borrower that needs capital, which is debt, which is a hard money lender that they could provide. So referring buyers to us with, we can get you a quick quote and get the deals funded. Next place, page. Okay, phase 4, fixing a house. This is the exciting part, which everybody is going to be loving. So fixing a house to flip. Next page, please, Max. So whether you're a do-it-yourself flipper or a hands-off flipper that wants to hand it off to somebody, everybody still needs to be on the project, oversee it, make sure everything is going good. And I want to emphasize to everybody on this webinar, unfortunately, we're headed to a recession. And in recession, there's going to be, millionaires made. Where there's uncertainty, there's going to be opportunity. But with that opportunity, you still must do your due diligence. Just to recap, which is, again, getting a home inspector and crunching the numbers to make sure that it works. With that said, now that you got the capital, hopefully Express Capital Financing, you have your deposit. Now you need to fix the house. So why am I saying that whether you're do it yourself or you're going to give it to a contractor, it is imperative, especially if you're a newbie, that you're on site, you're there, you're watching, because as you're doing all this, you're going to learn. And if you look at my bullet, do you know exactly what to fix and why? You may not. But when you're going to networking events and you're speaking to a contractor or maybe a fellow developer, a fellow investor, they can kind of guide you by asking questions. And by the way, I always say, maybe you should partner up with somebody that has the experience, maybe because better to give him 50% of something or 40% or 30% of something than to possibly lose out 100% of something. But just getting back to that bullet again, you have to know what to fix and why, because if you're going to spend $50,000 on maybe the outside exterior of a lawn, is it going to get you instead of ARV what you want? And to be honest with you, the most important aspect about the job is 2 things, your contractor and the ARV, because that ARV is going to get you, the investor, to the profits. And that's why you're in this business. And that's why you're in this webinar. So you need to know what to fix and why, whether it's the bathrooms, the bedrooms. I will say, being an investor and being a lender, the most important 2 parts of a property, believe it or not, are the bedrooms and the bathrooms. The more you fix it up, the better, the house will look and more appreciative. Women especially appreciate a good, nice kitchen. And most folks, of course, want a nice bathroom. So do you know when to fix it? What also matters. For example, if your inspector, tells you that maybe the central air conditioner is not, working properly, do you spend an extra $5,000 or $10,000 or not? So this is what matters. Do you fix it now or not? Or maybe, that's what you have to know for yourself. Do you know what to look for in a good contractor? So unfortunately, contractors don't have a good name, a good reputation with themselves. Are you going to get stuck maybe with bad contractors? Yeah, I mean, we all do. And again, I'm an investor myself. I've been there. I just recently fixed my third home over here in New Jersey, and I still have contractor problems. Seeking out a good contractor, it's inevitable, but there is no diamond in the rough. So you're just going to have to work with one. You look for referrals, ask for referrals, look on Angie's List for some good reviews on the guy. Maybe you should even tell your contractor, tell him, even though you're giving me referrals, tell him I want to see past projects, the type of work that you've done. And when you're talking to their referrals, some of the questions that I would suggest asking is, does he get out on time? Is if he's telling you 4 weeks and he's getting out in 8 weeks, well, that just cost you a month more on money, taxes, insurance, the hard money note, another cost. So you want to know, from your referrals, is the contractor, does he complete the job at a timely manner? Does he bring in a full crew? Does he tell you 6 people and he only comes with 3 people? Does he cheap out on the material? Things like that. You want to ask these questions. Don't be afraid to ask. Sometimes you may be desperate. You're in the deal. You need the contractor, but a week or maybe even 2 weeks of asking and doing due diligence with your contractor, again, can save you thousands of dollars. We have had, as a lender, our investors who have gotten stuck with contractors had to pause their projects for a month or 2 until they got a good contract or a better contract. So it does happen. And don't think that you're just a bad investor. It's just the world. It's just the way society works. But once you build up a rapport and a relationship with your contractor, hopefully your business is going to grow. I want to bring out a point to everybody here also. The most important part of the project is not the money. It's not the title, the insurance. Believe it or not, it's your contractor. You pay him on time, you get him out on time, your cost of capital is cheaper, your profits are greater. What I used to do is if the contractor wanted $50,000 and he tells me it's going to be done in 1 month, I tell them if you get it done in 2 weeks, I'm going to give you $55,000. I spent $10,000 more, $5,000, but I got them out 2 weeks earlier because I know I had an end buyer that I didn't want to lose, or maybe that $5,000 in extra cost was going to get me on the market quicker in a greater market. So these are important things to know. Next page. Okay, so we're going to be sending everybody, I believe, Max, we're going to be sending this to everybody after. I'll go through this right now with everybody. This is a rehab checklist. So this is good to know when you're walking the properties. You should print these out, take it with you. And by the way, you shouldn't just bring one contractor and use one contractor. I would bring 3. If you only have appointment in one day, tell one guy at 10 o'clock, one guy at 12 o'clock, and one guy at 2 o'clock. And you're going to get 3 different offers. You're going to get an offer for 30 and for 50 and maybe 60. Never, ever, ever take the cheapest one because he's telling me that something is wrong and he just wants your business. And that $30,000 contractor, chances are, is going to end up costing you $50,000 or $60,000 at the end of the day. I like to stick with the middle one or maybe even the better one, but I will ask questions. Why are you at 40 and why are you at 60? What are you doing different here and there? So those are just my methods that I use, and I tell my investors and clients, and they're happy with that. So let's walk through this quick checklist over here. If you can go down the page, Max. So it's important, if you're lucky, you can laugh at this, what to bring with you, a cell phone and an outlet charger, because you could be there for hours. So you want to be making any calls that you want. And even though you're making 3 appointments, 10 and 12 and 2, chances are every one of them is not going to be there on time. So you want your phone there and calling up wherever you have to call. Notepad and pencil, believe it or not, a flashlight. If you ever have to go to the attic, the basement, any particular areas that doesn't have any light, of course, your contractor, bring a measuring tape. A lot of people do not bring measuring tapes and they think that the contractor is going to bring one. Chances are it's not always going to happen. If you notice here, it says a ladder. Again, chances are your contractor may not have one. And if you have a measuring tape and a ladder, I want you to think about it from the contractor's perspective. He's going to see you, that you're sharp on your toes. You are an investor. You are well prepared. He is going to make sure that he comes in not just with the price, but with the good project cost and letting you know everything that he's going to be doing properly. So let's go on to the first page of this. So I'm not going to go by line. It's kind of explanatory. But this is before the contractor is giving you his budget or his scope of work or his estimate. You're having it written down. So this way, when you're price comparing 2 or 3 contractors, you have it all in front of you. And then this way you can say, hey, well, why are you doing the $60,000 job for 60 when every contractor is doing X, Y, and Z the same? And that's where it comes down to with the line by line, whether it's the floors or the bathroom. So this is a very good list that we utilize, give our investors, and you could price compare and make an informed decision. So everybody will be getting this, I believe, right after the webinar. Is that correct, Max? Okay, I guess
Yes,
he's
that
on
is,
mute.
yes. Yeah, I was on
Okay.
mute, but yes, that is correct. We're going to send it out to everybody tomorrow morning with the recording.
Okay, good. And maybe, by the way, you wanted to have it on your phone, print out 10, 20 copies, keep them in your trunk, keep them handy, because when you're doing the drive-bys or you're doing the marketing, whatever you're doing, the bandit signs, the direct mailer, you want to have it handy. You don't want to have it in your car, in your home, have it in your car handy. So we're just gonna skim through it really quickly. As you can see, it's bathroom, kitchens. If you can kindly go down, Max. Electric and HVAC, these are important factors to know. These are very important factors to know. And by the way, don't think this is intimidating. I don't know this stuff. I don't know if it's a 10 grand job, a 15 grand job. You're right. You're not going to know, but by getting 2 or 3 people asking good questions, you're going to get the answers. Are you going to make mistakes? Yes, but I consider them learning curves, because when you're asking a question and you did something wrong, it just taught you to be better on your next flip. That's all. So please, folks, everybody's going to make mistakes. As Zig Ziglar says, the only way to get to success is by having many failures. So keep that in mind. Okay, so if we can go to the next slide, Max. Okay, so these are just quick tidbits I want to bring out to everybody about mistakes that everybody should be avoiding. So an unlicensed contractor might seem like not a big deal, but permit problems can lead to lawsuits if potential buyers discover the defects in the process of a sale. So what I'm trying to say here is, if you're going to use an unlicensed contractor, your end buyer, whether he's an owner or an investor, if he's going to be doing his appraisal and a possible inspector, if somehow catch you that you're using an unlicensed thing, it could cost you in the end. It just really depends on the scope of work. If you're doing a $15,000 project, maybe it pays to go with an unlicensed guy. Look, I'm an investor, I'm a lender. I believe spending a little bit more, getting proficiency and making sure that things are done right. I don't ever want the city to come down on me for a lack of certificate of occupancy or a green card or whatever state that you may be in, and that you can't sell the property for any type of defects or home structures or like that. Next page, please. So skipping a conversation with your local real estate expert. I strongly believe everybody should get a real estate expert on their team besides a lender, because they're going to be guiding you on the market. Besides us, which I'll tell you after, a real estate expert is going to tell you the after repair value, what the as-is value on the property, and things of that nature. So you always want to have one on your team. It may take you time to develop that relationship. However, it's important to have that. And by the way, realtors, they are very, very busy. They're not going to deal with tire kickers. So when you're just asking them questions, you want to come up to the plate. I'm not saying just, buy a house from them, a property, but I don't know, maybe take them out for a coffee, maybe buy them a gift until you're buying your first property. Don't show that you're just asking questions and you're out to, I hate to say the word, but waste their time and be a tire kicker. Show them that you care, show them that you're going to give business. And whether it's a cup of coffee, maybe it's a gift or something, but your realtor would be your best source of advice. Okay, going overboard with fancy finishes. And if you remember, we discussed this a little bit earlier, knowing what to do on the project, because high-end flips can be with high stakes. If buyers don't love your big ticket design decisions as much as you like it, what's going to happen. And if you remember, the end of the deal is all about the profit. The profit is the after repair value. So you should not be spending more unless your ARV is going to increase. And so let's take an example. Let's say you're spending $30,000 and you know your ARV is going to be 300, for doing a research and talking to a realtor and checking up on MLS.com to check the comps. But if you say to yourself, I'm going to spend 60 grand, double the amount, well, check the comps to see if that ARV is going to be at least 360. Because if it's coming in for the same number or 310 or 320, why would you spend $30,000 more when it's only going to come out of your profits? You want that money to double for you. If you're spending 30 more on a job that, that's $30,000, if you're spending double the amount on the scope of work, you want to make sure it comes out to double on the ARV, is basically what I am saying. Okay, the next scale, Max, please. Okay, neglecting easy fixes. So sure, a gut renovation on an old home has an open floor, delivers more wow than any other, property out there. But don't forget the small things: doorknobs, door handles, light switches, light fixtures. Some people just put a basic light fixture, but spending a few dollars more to making a nice light fixture, or, going back to the doorknobs, maybe putting locks on the bedroom doors. Some people I know, they don't put doorknobs with locks. And I tell them, well, most people want their door locked. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Spend an extra few dollars, do it. This way your end buyer, whether it's an investor or a homeowner, they're going to see that you're not neglecting the easy fixes. Next page. Okay, jumping into a do or die. So I want to, tackle this topic because, like I said, we're headed to a recession, and in recession there's going to be opportunities. And, everybody from new to experienced people, they want to just buy. That's great. But you know what? If you're doing your first, second, or third deal, go slow. This recession is going to take a good 2 years until we recover. There's going to be opportunities today, tomorrow, next week. Better to execute your first, second, or third deal properly than to take 3 on at one time, thinking that you're a big shot because your Uncle John gave you so much money to invest. You never want to grow too fast. You never want to do things too quickly because in haste, I'm sure you know what happens. There's waste. So be careful with that. So flips might look like sprints, but they can be very, I call it marathon. They could be very, very challenging is the word I want to say here. So number 6, Max. Okay, staging. Love this. People were not using staging years ago. For the folks who don't know what staging is, after your flip is done, if you're thinking about it, it's just empty rooms, and that's it. So what a stager does, they come in there, they put some couches, chairs, they tidy up the kitchen, they make it look like it's been occupied. And that's what a borrower wants to see. It's all about the emotions. Somebody's living in there that'll look very pretty. Because when you're looking at an empty living room, an empty dining room, and an empty bedrooms, the mind can't really grasp it because nobody knows where the beds are going to be and the drawers and, in the kitchen, whatever utilities you have in the kitchen. So having a stager showing your property is a best advantage. Yes, it may cost you hundreds, maybe $1,000 or $1,500. One of my guys uses a stager for every single deal, and it cost him $1,500 flat fee. He made a deal with this guy, the stager, and it is working wonders for him because he realized that his properties are selling 30 to 40% quicker than without a stager. And again, what I tell you before, the quicker you're in a deal, out of a deal, the cost of capital is cheaper. Taxes, insurance, your monthly payments cost, and that's what you want. So staging is a very good, way to go. Number 7. Okay. So everybody's looking to, making the mortgage payments, and people, they're going to be there for so long. People are falling short on the profits that you should have made because you went through speed over a job well done. What is the mortgage payment, by the way? I'm talking about the carrying cost, the monthly payments, whether you're doing hard money or an actual permanent financing. Don't let speed push you to the limits because, again, you want to execute safely and you want to execute with a profit. If you're just going to make a haste decision, you may, look, quick decision is important but don't make a hasty decision. So speed should not be your focus. Some people, oh, I want to get out because, I want to sell it, and then want to take my money out, and I want to buy another property before I lose out on so much opportunity. Better to exit safely on this one so you can continue your second and third. So that's about for this one, Max. Okay, number 8. Whew. Okay, I guess this was really part of the same thing. So it's undeniably that satisfying to step away from a frustrating bit of renos can turn to another task. The flipper's work is rarely done. And if you think about it, it's in the middle and halfway, you're in a finished mesh. The only way to make sure that you've dotted your I's and crossed your T's is to follow the project through to completion. No matter what your mind is thinking about, you want to get out of here, you got mortgage payments, better to take care of the solution by dwindling on it and thinking about it so much, it's not going to get you there. Just think of the solution. What can I do better? What can I do quicker? What can I do easier? Just to get to the solution. It should not be, oh my God, the contractor did this to me and this guy didn't come in today. Get to a solution. What can I do? And again, sometimes you may want to tell your contractor, you promised me 4 people. You only see 1 here. You know what? You finish up in a week or 2 and I'm going to give you an extra $1,000 or something. Whatever it may be. Maybe watch them every day so you could see that you're hands-on, like I mentioned early on in the presentation. The next page, Max. Okay, so for the newbies out there, there is a 70% rule. And what that means is 2 things. So the ARV should not max out more than 70%. So for simplicity reasons, let's take a deal that the ARV is 200 grand, and if you multiply it by 70, the max allowable offer, what we call MAO, maximum allowable offer, should be 140,000. That is combined with your purchase and the rehab, $140,000 on a 70% times a 200 ARV. Now, on that $140,000, assuming your rehab, is $40,000 because you got quotes from 2 or 3 contractors and you feel confident with going with the contractor, that's a $40,000 budget. So that essence means your purchase should not exceed $100,000. So this is how we get to the 70% rule. Never be excited. Never say, you know what, I'm going to put in 75% times 200 and that makes 150. I'll pay 150. Numbers do not lie. The only thing that lies is yourself. So numbers do not lie. If you want to lose money, increase it, and that's how you're going to show a way to lose money. So please consider that with financing, you have carrying costs and you have sometimes out of the blue expenses that may come up like you didn't know about, because sometimes the contractor had to break a wall and there was beams in there or pipes in there. You may have unexpected things. So that's why never exceed the 70% rule. Next page, please. Okay, so speaking of figures, the temptation to overestimate your potential property ARV in order to justify a higher maximal amount offer can be strong, particularly for the first-time flippers who find themselves asked to pay a slightly more than expected. But it's just not worth it. So again, please don't exceed that 70%. And for anybody out there that's talking to lenders that are lending 75% ARV or 80, I'm going to tell you something personally. It is suicide, because numbers, again, don't lie. Numbers don't lie. So whatever lender that may do it, COVID, past COVID, post-COVID, it's just not a good formula. And that's why if you look at the lenders world, most of them are 65 to 70% of the deal. So factors beyond your control could lower your after repair value by 20% by the time you're ready to sell it, according to some experts. So again, be careful with that, because you don't want to over leverage on your deal. I shouldn't say over leverage. You don't want to overestimate exceed your 70 to 75% ARV where you're going to be making less money. Next page, please, Max. Okay. Now, if you notice, I mentioned landscaping. So before, and I want to talk about this because overhauling an entire lot's worth of greenery isn't cheap. I mean, I just spent about 3,500 putting sod in one of my homes. Particularly, it's been a neglected area for a long time, but the TLC that increases a property's curb appeal is worthwhile in the line item. And what I mean by line item, it's on that rehab checklist for the lawn. So spending, whatever it costs from your lawn guy to do it, again, it's all about the appeal. It's all about the emotions of that end buyer to say, I want it and I'll pay your price. So it can add up to 10% more to your ARV. So don't discount it. Some people say, you know what? I'm not going to put sod. I'm going to get the guy for $200 and I'm not going to do the sod. I'll just get him to $200 to put seeding on the grass. Yeah, you save yourself $2,300, but by the time it grows, you may have lost a lot of deals. And again, your cost of capital is still increasing because you still have a carrying cost every month of taxes, insurance, and your hard money lender out there. So don't discount even the landscaping. It's important to know that. Number 12. Okay, so do it yourself. If you remember what I said before, as a Chinese philosopher said, Lei Zhu wrote in his book, "The wise man is one who knows what he does not know." So this is about your comfort zone, I should say your uncomfort zone. You want to get into the things that you don't know, and then eventually you're going to know them. As a real estate pro who put it, the first flippers are one who knows that he or she must not try to remodel an entire kitchen by herself. So what I'm saying there is, again, get advice from maybe friends or other investors from your networking events or seminars. Find out what needs to be done. Do I spend $20,000 on the kitchen? My contractor's telling me I need $40,000. Well, yes, I would definitely ask questions to somebody that knows, but at the same time, is that ARV going to get me $20,000 more spending on a beautiful, 20 grand more in a kitchen? Next one, please. Okay, so if you remember, everybody, folks, I mentioned the inspection, very, very important. That should be number one in your due diligence, because like I said, it can cost you hundreds of thousands. It'll cost you hundreds of dollars, but it can save you thousands of dollars. Every property that I personally buy myself, I always do an inspection. I don't let it go with that. And by the way, an inspection is a good tool to negotiate, excuse me, for better price. So if the inspector's telling you 20 grand that you didn't see or know, well, there's your opportunity to tell the seller, look, it's 20 grand more. It's written. I'm not saying it. Either decrease it or let's do something here. And most probably they're going to do it. So I want to let you know that. Next slide, please. Okay, ignoring the neighbors. Oof. Okay, so everybody wants to buy the ugliest house in the block because the ugliest one is probably the best one. It needs the most fixing, tender, loving, caring, and you're going to make it the best, beautiful house on the block. But if you're going to make it the best, beautiful, look at the second ugliest house and maybe the third ugliest house. You don't want $1 million house in a $300,000 neighborhood. So you want to be careful for that. So if average median price on the block is 300, you want to make sure that you're spending your purchase price, your rehab, to get to that ARV of that $300,000. But be careful when buying, seeking opportunities of ugly houses that you may find the needle in the haystack, but you don't want to make sure for the second house or third house that you're not going to be the most prettiest house as well too. Next one. Okay, cutting corners in the bathroom. Just like I said before, folks, the bathroom and the kitchen are the two most, believe it or not, rooms in the entire property. So if your floor plan and budget can accommodate a full modern bathroom, it's worth your time. Many experts agree that the bathroom renovations provide the returns on the investments that are comparable to kitchen renovations. So bathroom and kitchens, sometimes even bathrooms are even a stronger room to a lot of home buyers. So, it's funny, but it's true. So you want to spend, I'm not saying it's the right thing or the wrong thing, but focusing on the bathroom and the bedrooms will get you your most dollars on your ARV. So this is talking about, taking a kitchen, for example, instead of ripping it apart, maybe just doing what we consider stripping it and refinishing, lacklustering the surfaces and upgrading the fixtures. Sometimes instead of knocking it all out and buying a kitchen from IKEA and spending 40 grand, maybe just doing a facelift for 20 grand can get the job done. And again, that comes with good questions by asking other landlords, other wholesalers, other investors out there on, what their thoughts are to be. But you got to give them numbers. You can't just say, oh, should I spend 20 or should I spend 40 and do a whole face, do a demolition? That's not a question. You want to ask the question, if I spend 20, my ARV is going to be this, but if I spend 40 and do a whole and a knockdown, I'm going to get to an ARV of this. Give them informative information so they can give you a proper answer back. Next page, please, Max. Okay, phase 5. No, now we're up to flipping. Okay, so executing a profitable sale is no accident. And if you remember on the first slide that I said, it is a business. You have to know your numbers. You have to make sure that you're going to hopefully be successful. But it's a business. So there is a strategy, and that strategy should be, again, your inspector, and then you're going to be crunching the numbers to make sure that you can put that sale sign in the yard, knowing your market, knowing your buyer, and mapping out a doable marketing plan. Just some suggestions on a marketing plan, whether you're going to give it to that same realtor, and maybe that's a great idea also. Tell the realtor, I'm not looking just to buy from you. I'm going to give you my properties to sell once they're finished. Putting it up on Craigslist, maybe putting your own for sale signs up there. So you need to know what your plan is. Don't just buy and fix and then say, okay, what am I going to do now to sell this property? Have the plan in action. You could always tweak it, but have it written down for you to know what you're doing. So when you're ready for that moment, when that phase is ready, you are prepared. Always preparedness is the best of action and executing plans. Next page. Okay, so on my website, which everybody can see now is called expresscapitalfinancing.com, we have a deal calculator. It's free. Anybody could go there. Max, I'm not sure if you can click on it. So folks, this is what it looks like. These are great questions to know. So you should have them in your head, maybe have it on your phone, because when you're with your realtor, when you're with your seller, when you're talking to the bank, however you're buying the properties, are very good questions to know. And just put in whatever answers that you know. And if you look all the way to the bottom, folks, the most important thing is it's going to tell you is that if you're in the deal for 6 months, and again, that's you telling the system that you're in the deal for 6 months, that you made a $42,500 profit, and your return on the investment after 6 months is 108%. So just to explain to everybody, what do I mean here by return on the investment? If you're putting in your equity, what is your equity? Your down payment of 10, 20%, closing cost, third-party cost, carrying cost every month. All that is what you're laying out. Let's assume the number is 50 grand. Well, this system is telling you that your 50 grand will return you 108% in 6 months. Folks, I don't know where you can get 100% in your money in 6 months. Stocks, average before this recession, before this pandemic, was what, 10% of your money? IRAs, not sure what the number is, but nowhere near 100%, especially in 6 months. You may not know all the answers. Give us a call. We'll help you with it, but nobody knows all the answers in the beginning. So put in whatever you think, but just, use your head a little bit. If it's going to be a $100,000 job, chances are you're going to be in there for a good 12 months. I wouldn't put 2 months or 6 months. So put whatever numbers you feel. If you have any questions, you can call us. Not a problem. We'll help you and walk you through this. But a lot of investors, newbies, and experienced people use this. We're also going to provide you with our economics, letting you know what the return on the investment is going to be, the profits are going to be, and with our consultative approach on where the market trends are going. Is it a buyer's market, seller's market, renter's market? So we will do that for you and with you as soon as you're ready to submit a deal. So as your lender, we're going to be your second set of eyes. I want you to consider, folks, lenders are there. Especially my company, we're there to lend money to you to exit, get your profit, and we can get back our money. So I just want you to understand what a lender's perspective is. So this is an important tool to know your return on the investment and to know your profits. Right now, mid-COVID, you want to be at a minimum of $15,000 profit. If you think about it, why would you want to be in a deal for 3 months making less than $15,000? If you're in it for $5,000 or $10,000, it is not worth your time. And lenders and investors are looking for profits. They're not looking for small margins. They're looking for profits. Typical profits on a deal nationwide right now is $62,500. So it does depend on your city, your state, the area that you're focusing on. But just to give you an average of 62,500. I'm from New York and New Jersey. Typical here, believe it or not, is a low of 50 to 250,000. So we lend all over the states, but just to give you an idea, you don't want to deal less than $15,000-$20,000 profit. So I'll let you know that. So this is the deal calculator. It's on our website, and it will be given to you, I believe, after the webinar. And folks, just even though I'm not going to go back to it, but I just want to say it's going to ask you a question about the ARV. Even though post-pandemic, again, that some lenders like I will go to 70, even 75%, put in the 65%, because you don't want to overspend and over leverage yourself, especially in the beginning. Experienced investors get 70 to 75% ARV post-COVID. Why? Because they've done 10 to 20 deals. They know what they're doing. Sometimes they're gonna, they're not gonna be so profitable, but they have the experience to know how to get out of that jam, to know how to get out of a deal quickly without losing a lot of money. So the bottom line, when you think about getting started in fixing and flipping, what do you have to do and what do you need to do? Again, you have to find deals, mingle, network. Like I told you in the first part of this webinar, it's very important to get out a lot of offers. What my company does, we don't just lend. We could offer you, once you qualify with us and get on the phone for 5 minutes, we'll qualify you. We'll let you know what you need to bring to the table. We're going to provide you with proof of funds. But it's very important to know that, finding the deals, sending out offers out there is going to help you scale your business tremendously, and especially off-market deals. Next page. Okay, number 2, figuring. This is discover if a deal is really a good deal and knowing the formulas. Can you conduct effective due diligence? And again, the due diligence is the inspector and crunching your numbers, whether it's a deal calculator or you have your own formula. If the answer is no, then how do you figure out deals? Can you figure out deals? Next page, please. Funding, I'm sure you know to contact us. I'll just say it very quickly. Our main number is 285-0806. Fixing, how do you learn what, when, where, and how to fix a deal? There's formula education, there's networking, there's possibly real estate IQ can connect you to good contractors. My company, we have third-party providers, title, insurance, lawyer, contractors, carpenters. Give us a call. Let's talk about your deals. Let's talk where you need the help in. We can get you there. We're all about getting you to a celebratory close. You don't make money. We don't make money. You're not successful. We're not successful. So my goal is to get everybody to a celebratory closing so everybody can be successful. Next page, please. So when you think about getting started, what do you have and what do you need? Well, we know, again, you want to be able to flip the property for profits, and that's where it all starts before the house goes on the market. Remember, you want to have a plan. The plan is I'm going to send out 20 offers a day. How am I going to send out offers? Whatever marketing tools you're going to be using, and then you're going to be making offers, whether it's through our proof of funds that you're going to be calling us on, and you're going to be doing your due diligence, and then you want an executed marketing plan, how you're going to get rid of the property. But you need to start learning how to flip, of course, and flipping. If you don't get it, you're never going to learn. So start getting into it, because now, like I said, is the best time to be into this business. So what does Express Capital do? We are nationwide hard money lenders. We specialize in fix and flips, 1 to 4s. We are not credit driven. No financials are required. We don't ask for any tax returns, no W-2s, no income verifications. It is all about the hard asset. Right now, mid-COVID, I'm just going to tell everybody quickly, we need to have a 650 minimum score. And you could be a newbie. It's not a problem, but a 650 minimum score. We are asking for interest reserves anywhere from 3 to 6 months of the monthly payments. However, we're not institutionalized. We're private. We're family. So we're very alternative. We're very creative. If you don't have all the money, give us a call. We'll connect you with a gap funder, or maybe we'll do 100% financing with you and for you, which I'll get through in a minute. So we can connect you to wholesalers, to landlords, to property managers, connect you to get the deal done, whether it's you don't have all the cash with other people who have the cash, maybe somebody with a decent score, or maybe somebody with that experience that we can provide you with the high leverage. I'm going to go to the commercial mortgages. What that means is we are a nationwide mortgage lender. We're private, so we're not a bank. Quick turnaround time to close, typically about 4 weeks. We do 1 to 4. We do commercial properties, which is mixed use, shopping centers, retail, office. So we're not just a fix and a flip lender. For any investors looking to buy or refinance commercial properties, going through us is going to be a 1 month closing time. And we're not credit sensitive. Again, we could deal with borrowers in the 600 scores on mortgages. And a lot less closing costs than a bank charges. And then the third item that we do is bridge loans. And bridge loans, to me, it's hard money, but it's bridge, which is what the name was used for years ago. It's for commercial properties of hard money. So not just commercial mortgages, it's commercial bridge loans. And again, the mixed use, the multifamily, and a bridge or hard money is used, again, for high leverage properties that are, empty. Banks won't touch empty properties that need rehab, properties that need CapEx, property that needs add value. So we could work with all types of investors, whether you have, your note due, your CMBS note due, or maybe you're in a default from a current bank. We could work with you on the mortgages and the bridge loans as well. So next slide, please, Max. We also have another site besides my main site. This is called findthatflipdeal.com. It's a free MLS website. We created it years ago for wholesalers to post their properties on there. My company, Express Capital Financing, has 35,000 investors in our database. So when you put your properties up there, it's free. Whether you're a wholesaler, landlord, developer, property manager, realtor, put your properties up there. It's free. You're going to get the clicks. That's all we ask is 2 things. When it's sold, take it down, and have a buyer, please bring them to us at Express Capital Financing so we could fund your deal and give you a referral fee as well too. We created something for free. We have a lot to give as far as the assignment fees for wholesalers, as far as a referral fee. And again, it's awesome because again, only wholesalers used it years ago, and now everybody's using it. So findthatflipdeal.com to post it, pictures, prices. You're going to get the clicks. Next page, please. Okay. So, Jeff, I think it's your turn.
Yep, I'll be taking over slides, so I'll be just sharing my screen. There, so thank you so much, Martin and Max, for that wonderful session. And wow, it's really an eye-opener. And guys, make sure to copy all the details that I've posted in the chat box. So the links and the details that Martin is talking about a while ago, I have posted that on the chat box, so you can just scroll it up and copy it to your computers. And just like what Martin said, after this webinar, we will be sending you an email with the recording and the links that they have provided within this webinar. So again, this event is brought to you by Real Estate IQ, the #1 in deal finding that provides you with more than 45,000 leads every month. And again, the poll is up right now, still up. So for the 45-minute one-on-one deal finding training, you just have to answer that poll. And so the poll is still active. All you have to do is answer that so we can provide you with a one-on-one deal finding training, which we can explain the techniques. We can give you like background or anything that you need to know about how to use our tools. And with answering these polls, actually, we will be having a raffle every week. So your details are given to us through answering those polls, and we will be doing a raffle every week, and we will announce it every Monday. So that's every Monday we will be posting that to our social media networks. So all you have to do is answer the polls, and you can be one of our lucky winners of our free services subscription for our services. And also, please join our community portal, which is realestateIQ.co. I'll be just typing that. So that is realestateIQ.co. So there, that's our website. And you can join the community in our portal. So since I'm sharing the screen right now, let me just try to copy the links. Okay, one moment. So in our community page, you can join all types of groups. So you can do networking, you can reach out to members of the groups if ever, you know, they're just near your area. So you can communicate with them, and you can even ask for tips, because this is a good, actually a good way for newbies or new to real estate to ask questions from our speakers and from the members of the group. So again, I'll just copy those links. There, so these links are posted in the chat box now, so you can just copy it to your computers, and you can check it after the webinar. And also Max and Martin are in this group, which I'll be posting right now. So you can join this group as well, and anytime within the week or anytime that you're free or you thought of any questions within this week, you can actually reach out to them through the community as well. And I'll be posting their contact details and email as well. So there, so all you have to do is copy that to your computer, and okay, let me just go back to the slides. There, so this group that I'm talking about a while ago is Hard Money Guide for Real Estate Investors. So all you have to do is click the link that I posted in the chat box, so you can communicate with the members of the group. And join us for week 2, which is next week, same time, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. So that's July 8th. Join us for the 5 winning strategies for your next fix and flip investments. And now's the time for the question and answer. So if you have questions for Max and Martin about this wonderful session, you can just post it in the chat box or the Q&A box, which I have checked right now that we don't have question as of now. But a while ago, we have questions. So in any case that we haven't answered it within the webinar, I'll be asking it again so Martin can answer your question. So one question is from Jeff Rosen. What type of spreadsheet algorithms you are using to assess a property?
Well, we gave the deal calculator, and we use our own algorithms once you give us the deal too, that we use to determine the strength of the deal. Very similar to the deal calculator, just a little more numbers in there. And again, understand, Jeff and everybody, that a good lender is not going to be lending you his money if the deal is not strong. So we have your back as well as our money. So just to let you know about that.
I see. And thank you so much. Oh, we have another question that came in. So the question is from Audrey Linford. Do you fund house hacking properties with the owner living in the property and renting out the room?
Max, want to get that one, Max? No? Okay. So the question is...
I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
I was on mute. So do we fund house hacking properties with the owner living in the property? We do not do owner occupied properties. The only time we would fund an owner occupied if they're occupying a retail or commercial space, and they're pretty much going to be operating a business out of there. So if you are going to be living in it, I would potentially look at 203K loan options.
Can I just add to it? I mean, we are soon going to be having permanent, owner-occupied mortgages to our company sometime in September, October. So at that time, we could do owner-occs 1 to 4s. Correct, Max?
That is correct. So hopefully that should be coming very soon.
Right. So just to let everybody know, hard money is not meant for your personal home. It is meant for investment strategies only. That's about it. I would just like to add, if anybody, again, call us up, even if you don't have a deal, you want to get, to network and build up a relationship with your lender, talk to us, questions, answers. We're here to help and guide you. Like I said, it's not just about our products and programs, whether it's our resources or tools to help you scale and start your business. So whether you have a deal, don't have a deal, that should be everybody's advantage.
Okay, thanks so much, Martin. So we have another question from Jeff. Do you fund larger than 4-unit projects?
For hard money, so we do. It's just really on pause. It just depends on the deal case by case. So multifamilies from 250,000 up to 5 million, we do them. It's just it's case by case, so we can do them. Large balance, which is like $1 million to $20 million multifamilies, we'll do that all day long.
Thank you so much. And we have a follow-up question from Audrey. Would it work without the owner living in the property?
Yeah,
So
again, we
I
just
guess
cannot.
that's,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Max.
yes, I think that's going back to that last question where she was asking about if she was going to be renting out the rooms in the property. So the answer is ultimately yes, as long as you have a good exit strategy. You would need to find a lender that would do a rented rooms and count that as the rent roll. Right now, we're looking for more stabilized properties. We're not really doing so much of the SRO type properties, which I think this would fall into. So the answer is, I guess, yes for the hard money. We don't have a refi option for it, but as long as you have that, we would definitely be considering a deal like that.
All right, thank you so much for that. So right now, we don't have any questions coming in from our Q&A box and the chat box. But if you have follow-up questions, everyone, I have posted the contact details of Max and Martin through Express Capital Financing. So you can copy those details, if ever you forgot to ask it within this webinar, or you just remember it by tomorrow or within this week, just drop them an email or call their numbers so they can reach out to you. And also for our customer service, any questions regarding real estate IQ, how to use our tools, or how can we help you with deal finding, you can actually contact us through the numbers and the email address that I've posted right now. So I'll be just copying that so you can easily copy that to your computers. Right, so there. So you can just copy that, contact us, call us anytime, and our customer service team will be reaching out to you as soon as they can. So, so we've learned a lot today with Max and Martin, and also we have the webinars and events. So please join us. Let me just go back to that slide. So I'm sorry I clicked that. All right, so there I have posted that on the chat box, so you can copy the link or click it right away after the webinar, so you can be updated with our webinars and events. So I think that's it for today because we don't have any questions. So Martin, anything that you wanted to add?
No, I just appreciate your time and energy, Jeff, and the Real Estate IQ team for assisting and helping everybody, like I said, to grow their wealth in real estate. Everybody be happy, enjoy their 4th of July weekend, and thank you everybody for coming on and participating. And if everybody could please give us a call tomorrow, we'd love to set the phone and chat with you.
All right, again, thank you so much, Martin and Max, for your time. Everyone, have a great day, and please contact us if ever you have additional questions.
Okay, good night, everyone.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate everyone's time.